prefer their buyers to pay cash offers way higher than
because of the commission.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, that you have to find an agent that you can actually trust.
Welcome to our first episode, Pro Women Today. I'm so thankful that everybody's here and staying tuned with us. So today we have our realtor, the expert in town, June Matoba, to talk about the issues when you're looking for your first home and when you're looking to buy a house, and what to think about when you were working with a realtor or real estate agent. Hi June, how are you doing?
Hi Evelyn, how are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling so excited about our topic today. So my first question, let's just jump right into the topic. My first question is, I am a first home buyer, and when I'm looking for a house to purchase, what should I know before launching my first step? So for example, I have this idea that we have to be on the market and to look for our first home, but I don't know where to start. So should I just go reach out to a real estate agent, or should I just go like on Zillow, or what is the other like
Realtor.com,
Redfin?
Google.
Yeah, the most famous one, Redfin. And should I just look for the house or look for an agent first?
So what I would recommend is to find a buyer's agent, because you want your support, right? Because the home buying process is very exciting, but also produces some stress.
This is overwhelming.
Yeah, overwhelming. So you want your support, professional support. So I would recommend to find a buyer's agent and talk to them.
Wait, can I ask a question? So when you're saying buyer's agent, I'm not sure, do you classify yourself as buyer's agent or the seller's agent? I assume that's as opposed to the buyer's agent. And how do I know that agent is the buyer's agent or seller's agent?
So as some people, especially people who moved here from overseas, they directly call the agent who lists the home, and that would most likely be the seller's agent, right? And that agent has interest in selling the home so that the sellers can benefit. So they're not going to take care of the buyers, but if you have the buyer's agent, they'll take your interest is the most important to this agent. So when I say buyer's agent, I mean any agent who is not representing the seller and who can work exclusively with you as a buyer.
So that's the reason why you have to sign an agreement with this buyer's agent, and so that like she or he is representing the buyer, only the buyer, not anybody else.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
And also
this that makes sense.
The contract that you sign will list the terms, how you work with this agent. So some agents get commissions only from the seller's side. So they don't charge anything to the buyer. But other agents, they charge the fees, or transaction fees, administration fees, and all that things. And all these things will be listed in a contract in an obvious way. So you need to make sure that you agree with the terms with this agent.
To be honest, I am a first home buyer. I'm looking for my first home. So I have never worked with a realtor, a buyer's agent. I've never signed any agreement with any agent because I don't want to, commit with this relationship. I'm not ready yet. So can you please share some perspective from being a realtor's aspect to tell us more about why do we need a buyer's agent? Can I just go on a house market and just look like when the house is ready for open house and I just go to the house and work with whoever's there?
So let me ask this question. Don't you want your best support when you make the possibly most expensive purchase in your life? Or you just pick anyone who can write paperwork for you? Which would you like to choose? Who can an agent who will think about you and take care of what benefits you the most, or any agent who can just write the paperwork? Which agent would you like to work with?
Yeah, I of course I'm looking for an expert. I really want a strong agent to fight for me, to help me bargain with the seller,
right,
and to help me point out some, problems of the house. So that's really what I'm looking for when when I have to work with an agent,
Right. So it's important to actually think who you want to work with, and also. So say myself, I'm a solo agent. So that means that when I work with you, I take you to a showing and I write the contract by myself, and I go the inspection with you, and so from the beginning to the end, I'll be with you. But some agents work as a team. So there's a showing agent, there's an agent who negotiates, and there's an agent who does the paperwork. So you might be working with many different agents. I don't say which is right or wrong. It's just buyer's preference. But say if you feel like, oh, I want to work with June, and then I just disappear from the showing, or I just disappear from not even showing up the closing, you may feel disappointed. Like, oh, I thought I was working with her.
Yeah, that's also my preference. I'm not really good at, dealing with a group of people, a team of agents, because I used to, at this house, there are like 3 showing agents in the house.
Right.
And I don't know who is representing whom. And I don't want to deal with 3 agents at the same time.
Right.
And the second time I was there to see the house, I was trying to provide my offer, and then it was a totally different person. So I feel like
who do I need to contact?
Yeah, I feel like building a relationship is hard for me already, and I have to rebuild or build another relationship with another agent, which is really overwhelming and sometimes time consuming. Yeah. Because sometimes I had some experience working with some other realtors and buyers agents, and they didn't know what I'm looking for. But for last year, I didn't have my baby because I was looking for a 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms house. But now it seems like we outgrow this kind of like a house size. We were looking for at least 4 bedroom and 4 bathrooms. I would prefer to have an office in the basement. So people's needs can be different along the time.
That's important too.
Yeah, that is really important.
Yeah, and so you want to talk with an agent who can actually have you think for the next few years, or actually how many years you will be in the home. So because some people maybe just want to be in the home for 5 years, then the family structure may not change. But if you are going to stay in that home for 10 years, 20 years, and of course your family structure will change. Like my home too. My home, when I got that home, I felt like that's big enough for 3 of us because my son was like 2 years old. But now he's 10. The home feels a little smaller, and my network got bigger too. Yeah. So now I want a bigger home so that I can invite people. So the people's needs change too.
Yeah. I also figure that a lot of people they don't necessarily have to stay in one house throughout their lives. Most of the people, they move, like especially for Americans, they move around the states or in town like 3 to 4 times, right, within 10 years. So there's still a lot of potentials to, correct this.
Especially here in the U.S., we are on average people move every 7 years. So there's the first home, and that's another key. So your first home doesn't have to be your final home. or retirement home. So you don't have to expect this giant dream home. The first home will be the one that you can grow out of, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then 7 years later, 10 years later, you move up to a little bigger home that accommodates your family structure. And then another 7-10 years, then you might downsize.
Well, that makes sense now. So as a first home buyer, I'm pretty sure everybody has the same experience as I do. It's like in a lot of networking events, we have met a lot of agents or realtors and people in different fields. You know, they represent different real estate companies. But, you know, how can you give me some advice on how to look for the right agent for you? For me, for example.
So it's important to think what is important to you. So like we have discussed a little bit. So you would prefer to work with one agent from start to finish to close. Then you might wanna ask that kind of question. Like, are you a team member, or do you have another person to do the paperwork for us, or are you going to be with me from the start to close? And also some agents it's called transactional or relational. So some agents just want to kind of, sell. So they are more interested in how many homes they sell in a year.
Oh.
But other agents are more relational. So they build a relationship with you. And those agents actually stick around after the closing too. So say you buy a home and a few months later you realize, like, hey, I need to call a plumber. And of course you don't know who to call. So you call the agent that you worked with when you bought a home. And they'll be happy to help, because they should be, a good agent should be well connected. So they will have a plumber that they can trust. And that means if you trust the agent, and if this plumber is the one agent trusts, then you can trust this plumber, right?
Yeah. So you're saying, I got what you're saying. So that means, like, you're not just an agent, not a buyer's agent, but more of a friend of this family. And maybe we can take you as a resource in case we have anything that we need in the house related to the house. We can just go to June.
Right. Yeah. And especially that's what I want to be too. That's the kind of realtor I want to be too.
That's great.
Yeah.
And June, another question is, I'm not sure about you, but it seems like we have like different cultural background. For example, I myself, I was born in China. I was brought up there, and I came to the United States like 11 years ago. Like, as a first generation immigrant, do you have any experience or advice or recommendations for me or for all the women or family who are looking for the first home like me? Like, what kind of things that we have to think about, or is there any pitfalls that we have to watch out for?
I think it's important that you are comfortable with this agent, so you can talk about your concerns and worries. Or a lot of times when I meet people from other countries, they have some cultural customs, like the house has to face certain directions, like west or
like a feng shui.
Yeah, that kind of thing. If you are someone who wants to have a home, I mean, with the cultural custom, it's important that you are comfortable with the agent and you can talk about it. Because sometimes you want to implement the cultural custom, but you're kind of afraid of telling that to the agent, because like, oh, he probably is not going to understand, or maybe that agent's going to feel like I'm weird, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so if that is important to you, then it's good to have an agent who you're comfortable with, or at least have an understanding. of the cultural background.
I'm sure I don't have that problem because I'm pretty straightforward. I'm not shy about, talking about my concerns and what I'm looking for in the house. Because I spend the money on there.
Right.
I have the right.
Yeah, and the direction thing. I actually install a compass on my this digital
watch.
Because I do meet a lot of people from overseas that that direction is important. So I was like, hey, this is going west.
Okay, so my next question would be, when I'm looking for a right agent or right buyer's agent, what should I look for in this person, and how would I know that he or she is the right realtor for me?
So other than the things that we already talked about, like you're comfortable or like relational transactional fees, ones are if the agent has a market knowledge, because especially nowadays, how much to offer for a home, agents need a lot of market knowledge, because you don't want to overprice the home, but if you underbid, then your bid is not going to win. So we need to balance like how much you want to add to the asking price to win, but you don't want to overpay.
But don't all the agents would prefer their buyers to pay cash offers way higher than
because of the commission?
Yeah.
So here's the thing: that you have to find an agent that you can actually trust. Because like it's this agent like just want more commission, or do they actually look after my interest?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't pay too much attention about how much commission the agent will pull out of every single deal. No matter what people's this is how this world works, and I just care about if I can, I'm able to get the house that I wanted. That's what I care most about.
And then also you probably want an agent who has no local knowledge, because you will probably want to know about the schools, like convenient places to go to, your favorite places, right? So those are important too.
So now can I ask you a question? Just be yourself and sell yourself. Why do you think you're the best agent?
Well, if you're looking for an agent who sticks in and fight for you from start to close, I'm your agent. And then I love studying about market. I have a lot of market knowledge, and since I started this real estate journey, I met a lot of people. So I'm well connected. I am a good resource for you. So.
Well, that's good.
Yay.
I would definitely go to you when I'm looking for my first home. So now here comes the second question. So when do you think it will be a good time during the year to start looking for homes?
So my best answer is now. Because, yes, anytime is my answer. Because, say, if you scroll down on Zillow, and you find a home that you really, really like this is the home I want to buy, but you're not ready, you're not pre-approved. And especially in this market, you have to move really quickly. So once the home is on the market, you got to do the showing probably like the next day, and you have to make an offer on that weekend, right? And if you're not pre-approved, you cannot do it. You're going to miss out.
So based on what you said, it's more of like a seller's market right now. So it means there are more houses that we can choose from, but we have to compete with each other to buy the house. Well,
we don't have many homes on the market. So when the home is on the market, you gotta be really, really quick, act really quickly.
Okay, so my husband and I, we've been on the market since last year. Even during COVID, we've been keep an eye on the market, And until now, we still haven't found our perfect home yet.
Right.
And you know, during COVID, the market is kind of crazy and the house prices are kind of really high. And I remember that we're trying to purchase a home, really putting our offer for a home listed price as $400,000. But it ended up that the house got like multiple offers, more than 30 offers, and they're all cash offers. And the highest offer is $1 million. So that was kind of really crazy.
Yeah.
So we decided, you know, maybe this is not a time for us. We decided to put it off. But now, recently we saw a house listed on the market. It was listed as $490,000 in Chesterfield. It is not the ideal perfect home for us, but it's more of a, you know, almost perfect home for us. So we were thinking, is it a good time for us to go back to the market? We still haven't got the what you said, the pre-approval letter yet, and I'm not even sure where I can get the loan, the mortgage loan yet. So when do you think we should start our first step? Like, what would this first step be?
So if anyone is taking a loan, the first step will be to talk with a mortgage loan officer. And of course, you talk with a real estate agent, and then she or he will have can recommend really good mortgage officers. So that would be your first step, because without financing, Realtor cannot really do much. To, you know, we cannot really take you to a showing because we don't know the budget. Then we might be wasting time, because you might be pre-approved for higher price, and then you're looking at the lower end of homes, then you're missing out on buying a nicer home. And the other way around is true too. You know, you don't
the most important thing is money. Without the money, we can't make any purchase. Okay, so I think I have collected all the information that I wanted to know as a first home buyer. I do appreciate June Matoba. Today it's sitting here with us so that I'm able to get to know the information. Thank you, June. I'm so thankful that I learned a lot today as a first home buyer.
Great. This was a fun discussion too.
Yeah, so let me think about what I learned today. So we talked about as a first home buyer, why do we need a realtor? Why do we need a buyer's agent? And second, we talked about what to look for in a realtor. And the third thing I think is it a good time to buy your first home? Is it a good timing? Also, in the next episode, we're going to talk about how to get your first mortgage loan and what is the process like of buying a first home. We're going to June's going to talk us through every single step of buying a home, the process. I'm really excited about the next episode. Thank you, June.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
All right, see you next time.
Bye.